What is up, friend and fellow anti-netter? Scott Shepard here, coming to you on a beautiful drive in my lime green Tesla Plaid that turns a lot of heads, quite frankly. And I live in a gated suburbia community now in Orange County, California. And believe it or not, you may be shocked to find that I am the only freaking person driving a metallic wrapped lime green Tesla, which is the Plaid Tesla. And, you probably already know that because anyone who owns a Tesla Plaid, that's pretty much all they talk about. And it's basically kind of like those people who, do CrossFit. It's like, how I do CrossFit? You know what? You know how I know you do CrossFit? It's because the only thing you talk about is CrossFit. Yeah, that's become my life with this Plaid. Anyway, I am driving right now to the office at 12:14 post meridian. Kind of a late start to the day, and went on a long jog through these beautiful hills of southern Orange County, California. And also a quick update in my life for those of you that are subscribers of the Scott Shepard letter. That I've gone through a transition period in my personal life, and not to get too sappy, and I won't also get specific, but I will say, holy crap, the grass is definitely greener on the other side. And I'm not saying that just to say it, or some form of, confirmation bias that we're all susceptible to. This past month and a half has been very exciting for me. And I feel okay to say that because I don't think my ex listens to this podcast. So don't worry. She doesn't know and doesn't listen to it. But it's like, holy crap, I've met someone who is really freaking cool and amazing, and we have this freaking awesome shared values, and she's super entrepreneurial, smart, driven, and doesn't have victim consciousness. She's just a badass. And I was hanging out with her last night, and man, just exciting times in life. And I'm not going to proceed any further in that, because you're not listening to this to listen to Scott Shepard's personal freaking diary or something. You're listening to this to kind of regroup and get a clarity on where we want to go. You're listening to this because my dream lifestyle, my writer lifestyle, my dream writer's life, my dream intellectual life is that of something that I want to create for you. And what do I mean by this? I mean, I'm literally freaking driving to my office right now, where I have beautiful wooden desks. I'm surrounded by books. I'm going to kick my feet up on my desk and read for the next 30 to 45 minutes. And then I'm going to write an email by hand, the analog way, the true way, the powerful way, the writing by hand in a way that I outlined the specific process, the anti-net writing process, in issue number 4. And then I'm going to continue to work on issue number 5 of the Scott Shepard letter, which is shaping up to be another banger. And one of the realizations I had today, I went on a jog with my dad in the hills of Orange County, California, and I was talking through the labeling of what I call the tribal triad. And the tribal triad are 3 core components that you need to create a tribe of 1,000 superfans that then evolves and snowballs into a massive movement. But really, who gives a shit about creating a massive movement? All we want to create is a dream intellectual, dream writer's life for ourselves that doesn't force us to create a massive company and overhead. We want to spend our days reading, thinking, writing, creating, and dominating. And by dominating, I mean, that's my, freaking alpha male language version of it. What I really mean is by dominating is by like being a badass, being an authentic version of yourself, sharing your core message with the people that you care about, giving value to the people you value, and transforming other people's lives through your research, through your writing, through your voice, through your perspective. Okay? So, one of the things I was talking through with my father, my Faja, is that of the third component of the tribal triad, which you'll learn about in issue number 5 of the Scott Scheper letter. And the third component is something that like Russell Brunson calls the new opportunity or the vehicle of change, but those labels do not do it justice. In order to actually create a movement, in order to create a tribe, you need to create a new category, essentially a new category of transformation. And then you need to be the one and only shark in that new category. And by shark, I mean, like, I hate that bullshit word, like, you know, oh, you need to be a shark. No, you don't need to be a shark, but you need to be the only vehicle in that new category that you create. So, for instance, when I created, why is this guy waving me down? The dildo. This guy was crossing the street, and he's like waved me down to like, okay, you can go. And then when he waved me across the crosswalk, he then like threw up his hands like he was pissed, like that I actually took him up on his offer. And you know, granted, I wasn't really paying attention, so, but you know, whatever. Anyway, you need a new category of transformation, meaning when I came into the whole note-taking market, the red ocean, the bloody ocean with like 50 different sharks and a ton of fish, you know, and all the sharks were fighting amongst one another, was the category of PKM, personal knowledge management. And everyone in the personal knowledge management space is just creating a better version of the same exact, you know, same exact thing within the category. Like, there's Obsidian, the digital note-taking app, you know, which is a better version of Evernote. And then, of course, there's always constantly new vehicles like Obsidian that have emerged. One vehicle being that of, what is it? Logseek is like the new Obsidian. And then there's a new one called Tana Inc., which is the new Logseek. You know, there's just constantly new note-taking digital apps that are there, all competing, you know, for the same fish, in the same bloody ocean. And I came along and I said, fuck this. Like, the thing is not to create a better version of Obsidian or better PKM tool. I said, you guys are in the wrong category altogether. And I created my own new category. My new category is that of analog knowledge development, AKD, right? And I am the only shark, or I don't like the word shark, but I'm the only fish in that sea, right? In that pond, the only fish in that pond, right? I'll use fish instead of shark because that just sounds better. And, you know, I'll be meek and powerful like Jesus of Nazareth and identify with fish. Anyway, I'm ranting. But you get the point. What you want, you don't want to create a new like vehicle, a new thing. You want to create a new category in and of itself. So you're going to be seeing that whole concept in the upcoming issue of the Scott Scheper letter. And really overall, I am convinced, and I believe, and I think you know this and you believe it too, that analog knowledge is the future. Analog knowledge is the secret to better thinking. But it's not only that, analog knowledge is also the secret to standing out in your marketplace, standing out in this digitally obsessed, digitally fetishized era of digital obsession. And so not only is analog knowledge better for developing your mind, analog knowledge is better for creating actual products that stand out in the marketplace, meaning a physical book, which I sell on my website, which is the game changer, right? People want the physical version of my book. And the physical monthly newsletter. That's an analog knowledge product. So, where I'm going with all of this, you're going to start to see this emerge. And I love that you are listening to this and hearing the behind the scenes version of, you know, how the sausage is made. I'm like taking you through all of this stuff, the thinking and the behind the scenes, what's going on in the kitchen, and you're going to be starting to see all the dishes being served. And I'm really excited because we are just getting started with the whole anti-net movement, the analog knowledge revolution, and really world domination. So that's it. That's my message today. Peace and love. Hope this gives you something to think about. And, by the time you hear this, you may be soon getting issue number 5 of the Scott Scheper letter. Anyway, peace and love, and stay crispy, my friend.